Well, this is the next workshop project. I saw this on eBay and I was intrigued by it. It's obviously very old, and I've always been fascinated by the small little sort of miniature drill presses that Mr. Pete has in his workshop that are powered and belt driven normally, and they're quite hard to come by over here in the UK. But I saw this and realised that this was obviously a miniature drill press. There's my hand. You can see how big it is. It's probably about, I don't know what, maybe 15, 16 inches tall, something like that. Very, very heavy. This is a cast iron base here. This bracket here that holds this pulley, that's cast iron. The castings are bronze, I believe. And that, obviously, the steel column. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's missing a whole load of stuff. And it's got some serious wear problems. But the only markings on it, which you won't, I'm not going to close in on it because you won't be able to see it. They're on the chuck there, and it does say Goodell-Pratt on the chuck. Now, my research tells me that Goodell-Pratt were a American tool manufacturing company, made many wheel braces, hand braces, that kind of thing, and a few belt-driven drill presses. They merged with the Miller's Falls tool company in 1931, and I believe the name Goodell-Pratt was then discontinued after that. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I've read online. So this is probably pre-1931. I've had a look on machinery.org, and they've got one Goodell-Pratt belt-driven drill press, small one on there, but it's very different to this. Couldn't find any pictures of this anywhere online, so I just don't really know at this stage. But I just saw it and I just thought, well, I've got a thing about old drill presses anyway, and I just thought, no, this would make an excellent project. I'm sure we can get this going. So what problems have we got? Well, we'll start with the good stuff. That's very heavy spring on that. The table, all of this all works fine. There's no slop in this at all. It just, obviously there should be a handle on here. The pulleys at the back, I think, let's bring you in closer on that so you can have a look. There we go. Now, I think this one is probably original, this bronze one, because it's very similar to the pulley at the top, which I'll show you in a minute when we go up to the head. I think this is wooden, this pulley here. I think that's been added, and as has this gear, but there is a hell of a lot of slop in this. So I've either got to replace the bush, I probably really need to replace the bush and the shaft on that. I'm sure that bush can be pressed out. So yeah, that is all shot to pieces there. Let's come up to the head. So that's the head. I've seen this kind of dual rear pulley mechanism before, where the belts go over and then around that. These are completely shot on the shaft. So they basically spin on the shaft, but they're totally shot. So it's either make a new shaft or make a new shaft and new pulleys. Round here, there is a considerable amount of play in this head. So again, that's either going to need a new shaft. That probably will need a new shaft. I mean, it all turns and everything, but it's very, very, very badly worn. That's a thrust bearing there, so that obviously when it goes up against that, obviously when you apply pressure to the drill head. I don't think there's anything that can't be sorted out, and then probably a DC motor would work fine, would be good enough for this, because obviously this is, this is a very, very small drill press. So the chuck's tiny, so it's obviously designed to take very, very small drill bits, which means high speed. So yeah, a DC motor probably would be fine for this. Mount it on a board with the motor and speed controller. But yeah, I'm hoping that we should be able to get this going. It's in pretty good nick, really. I mean, there's very little rust on the cast iron parts. And obviously the bronze parts will clean up nicely. So yeah, quite a lot of work to do, but I'm going to enjoy working on this. This will be a real good project. If anyone out there knows anything about this or has seen one of these before or can tell me any kind of history on these things, please let me know in the comments, because I'm really intrigued to know more about this. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a very old bit of kit, but I think it's also a very good bit of kit. So yeah, looking forward to getting this thing going.